Hey guys, Mark and Grace here with Noble Notary and Legal Document Preparers. We've had a lot of requests for people just asking how to perform a loan. And although you have already paid the NNA most likely to teach you how to do that, we may have a better way. So we're going to show you.
So we're going to show you some of our method and give you a few pointers along the way. It's probably important to know that you should preview your documents before you go to the closing. In case there's a document you're unfamiliar with, you can address it ahead of time. You also want to field your documents for where there may be additional witness requirements. Make sure that the borrower, the signer, has a witness set up, or that you're being compensated to bring a witness. So these are some things that you'll want to address right away. We're also going to show you how we arrange a loan package for maximum efficiency as well. So
yeah, some titles actually, title companies don't like you to arrange them in certain ways, but I'd say 9 times out of 10, a signing service or the title company doesn't mind you arranging those. So like you said, yeah, it's a maximum efficiency where you're just going through it very.
Okay, here we go.
All right, guys, before we get started, we wanted to mention our nifty little pen bags. Super important because you obviously need pens. You need blue pens, you need black pens. Mark's going to show you his. He carries along a lot more than I do, but I've got my stamp, of course, my favorite pen, and he's got his favorite pen.
Yeah, so, I mean, in my bag, I got a little notepad just in case there's closing notes or reminders I need, or if I get a phone call while I'm driving, I can take notes. But paper clips, business cards, of course, and then this is one of our pocket stamps that we have, which is always a good idea to have a backup stamp. I make it one that I can just carry around my pocket. I swear probably 75% of the time if I'm dropping UPS stocks at UPS store, there's somebody there that needs a notarization and the notary's not there. So it's like a quick 10, 20 bucks right there on the fly. I swear that happens all the time.
And your business card.
And business cards. Yep, business cards are obviously pens, blue and black, same. We've talked about getting decent pens because cheap pens make you look cheap. So having a decent pen makes you look professional.
And we have these nice pens with Noble Notary and Legal Document Preparers. It has our business line and our address here. So these are always fun to give out. Of course, I like to keep one for myself to do.
Right. So you can get them on AmsterdamPens.com, any of those places like that.
All right. So we're just going to perform this loan. It's a small loan. Like we said before, we're just going to hit the high points, the most important stuff. So we're just going to do this as if Mark is my client and he's the borrower. We also have a witness requirement because I did prep my documents prior. So I did note that there was a warranty deed in here in the state of Florida. A notary can be a witness and a second one needs to be provided. Mark is providing one today. However, if I had provided one, it would have been an additional $25. So let's go.
Okay.
All right, Mark, welcome to your closing. I do need your ID to get started. So we're going to take 2 forms of ID on this form.
Okay, let me get that.
These are pretty simple, guys. We're going to fill out the borrower's name, if there's a co-borrower, their birth date, their physical address. This part they can fill out themselves. I will take his driver's license and a second form. Normally, I'm going to scan those and send those into the signing service or the title company. So we will verify that this is Mark Samuel Sias. I'll jot down all his information. I'm going to scan these.
Now, why are you doing the Patriot Act form first?
Well, if he does not have a valid form of ID, photo ID, then we can't move forward. So there's no point in moving forward. Alrighty, sir. Looks good.
Thank you.
Now we do start with the closing disclosure because this is going to show all of your final numbers on your loan. You're going to sign and date this, but I want you to review it and make sure this looks good. Guys, we're looking for the loan amount, the interest rate, the monthly payment. This actually has PMI dropped off after 8 years, so we kind of note the payments. The amount that's coming back to him, we want to make sure that looks good. So he's going to review that. If that's good, he'll sign and date that back page.
And when it comes to the signature and date on the back page, I always tell them to sign it as they see it. So if it is middle initial or full name with middle name, sign it that way. Unless your signature is scribbly like mine, then they'll never know anyway, so they can
Exactly.
sign that way.
Unless it's, you know, sometimes there's instructions. This one did not have instructions, but if there's specific instructions that state them to sign a certain way, then we will follow that. Now, this is the settlement statement. So one of these goes to the title company, and one of them goes to the lender. So same numbers as the closing disclosure. Let's make sure this is the loan amount. You have the correct amounts deducted here, and you end up with the amount that you were expecting. So sign, no date on that one.
Now, side note with the settlement statement, I always like to point out the settlement date, because there's a settlement date and a disbursement date. A lot of times they'll ask, well, when am I getting my money? It's the disbursement date on this. Another thing is if this is a purchase, they may need a copy of the settlement statement to take to like the water or power electric to have those transferred over.
Yep. Now, this is that warranty deed where we need a second witness. Now, again, I have already reviewed this, so I'm aware that we need a second witness, and I've already confirmed with my client that he will be providing one. So we're going to make it on this date. So this one is a land trust with you as the buyer. Do you have a second witness available?
Yes, Ms. Ruby, can you come witness?
All right. And what is your name, ma'am?
My name is Ruby Sykes.
Okay. So why don't you go
Can you
ahead
sign
and
as a witness right here?
there, ma'am. In my office and start knocking stuff
Can you
around.
print your name there where it says print? Now, on Florida deeds, they have to write their address in now as of 2024 as well. And then I will sign here.
I will be the second witness or the first.
Good job.
Witness, thank you. All right, sign and stamp that warranty deed. They're deeding the property over or to, depending on the situation. Now, this is the application. He is applying for individual credit. However, if this was going to be for joint credit, both parties would initial here, and that it tells you that. So I always like to tell them, you know, this is your personal information. I don't go digging around through this, but this has your name, your address, your employment information. This has your income, your debts, and all of that. So I don't really like to kind of look through this stuff. It is their personal information that they filled out at the beginning of this process. So I basically say, look this over, make sure this is your application, your date of birth, social security, etc. Sign and date there.
Looks good.
Okay. Witness back there singing like a little Tweety bird.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, guys. This is the promissory note. So this is a promise to pay. So this is going to state the day that the first payment is going to be taken out or obtained. This goes over their right to prepay, late charges, or loan charges if that were to occur. So I just like to tell them that this is your note. This you got to pay it back. You're taking money, they're going to want their money back.
Typically, with most lenders, the promissory note is a signature and only a signature, no date needed.
Correct. Or notarization. So this is going to be the mortgage or the deed of trust. Typically, these are about 20 pages. It's legal definitions. I don't go over the entire thing. If they want to read it over, they're more than welcome to, but I always let them know, just make sure your name and property address matches, which makes it your deed. So he will review that. Oh, just kidding. It's the partial claim. This was an addendum. That wasn't important. This is the deed of trust. 21 pages, sir. So make
in Florida,
sure.
we of course call them a mortgage. Some states it's a deed of trust.
Yes. So make sure your name matches up the property address here, and then I'm going to have you sign here. In the state of Florida, 2 witnesses are not required on the mortgage. However, if you do have a witness there and you can.
Some lenders may prefer it anyways. So those are the high points. There may be some insurance forms in there. There may be powers of attorney for corrections.
4506C, you've got your W-9s in there as well. So there's some things that we didn't go over because, again, you paid a couple $100s for the NNA to really deep dive those documents into you, but we wanted to just give an overview of, basically how it's conducted if you need a witness. Blue pens, obviously, have all your equipment with you and be well prepared.
Okay.